Well, and I think you hit on something is back when you were training with Bobby, you didn't have the video resources, and
Correct.
now you have the Run Transformation Library. Really,
Oh yeah.
it's the most comprehensive, I think, one-stop run training, biomechanics, every kind of
Yeah.
thing you can ask for, and that allows you now to really solidify that learning.
Yep.
You might have bought the course and watched it, and Bobby's gotten so many emails, and I've gotten so many emails from people. I mean, we did a free webinar last night, and a guy emailed in and said, "Oh my goodness, that was amazing. I should have known this. I've been doing Ironmans 18 years, I've done 18 Ironmans. I've been doing it all my life. Wow, what would have been different if I had have run into Bobby?" I mean,
Yeah.
just gushing on a free webinar. And
Yeah.
there was no video. It was just Bobby and I talking about running with slides.
Yeah.
But then you think that's the free stuff. Then the paid stuff, which is Run Transformation courses, is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 10 hours of HD video of Bobby talking about biomechanics and demonstrations of every
The
drill,
drills. Yeah.
run training theory, and then basically teaching you how to create your own training plan. Which, at the end of the day, there's no off-the-shelf plan that works for everyone. It's got to be individualized to you based on your body type, your goals, and principles. And then finally, the mental skill stuff. So Bobby has it all, but then there were people who needed or wanted that extra level of interaction, and they chose to come to this camp.
Right.
And they're just getting like out of this world in terms of their level of perception and understanding when it comes to running.
And it's interesting. Yesterday we did a session on periodization and planning, and then Bobby led kind of a practical, create, modify, update your own training plan. And so he led people through the scheduling assessment that he uses to coach athletes and had people answer them. And I walked around the room and was looking over people's shoulders and helped them lay out some of the blocks and some of the training ideas. And while we didn't come up with a comprehensive, training plan that they could walk home with or deliver to an athlete in just a 45-minute period, talking to some of the individual people, some of them had their laptops open and they had their Training Peaks account out while Bobby was saying, "I want you to go back and review this," and really sort of talking to them as if they were coaches, and many of them are. I would say at least a third of the people here coach in one way or another.
And the rest are self-coached, obviously.
And the rest are self-coached, yeah, or they have coaches. And one woman came with 6 sheets of paper printed out, and it was her training plan. It was all on a color-coded spreadsheet that her coach had prepared. And we were talking about it, and she said, I just really want to be able to have a more intelligent conversation with my coach. So it's not like she came here to find out, to replace her coach. She came to learn more information.
Or to sharpshooter, right?
Right. Yeah. She came to get more information so that she can have a more intelligent conversation with her coach when there's something on the plan that she doesn't understand or wants to shift. There's another fellow here who's a physician, and as a fellow, he's an ER physician.
Yeah,
and as a fellow,
it's intimidating to be around all these smart people. I'm just an ex-Army officer trying to make it.
Well, that's intimidating in its own way. But
yeah, well, if you make me upset, I know how to deal with it. But anyways.
As a fellow ER physician, I can appreciate how random his schedule is, and there aren't many people who can appreciate that unless you have experience doing shift work. And an ER physician is more bizarre than even just shift work because it's randomized shift work. I tell people, if you take a handful of darts, tack a calendar on the wall, and throw the darts at the calendar, that's my schedule for the month. It's really like
Well, I know that, trying to schedule live events and podcasts with you. It's
right.
It's awesome.
So, and some of us thrive on that sort of thing. Sometimes it's nice to have a regular sleeping schedule.
Well, just if you're listening to this and you're frustrated that Suzanne doesn't put out enough podcasts and live shows, I'll tell you how you can fix that. Is go buy Run Transformation or TI Academy from Triathlon Research, and then I'll be able to hopefully get her more regularly working, because that's my goal, is to get Suzanne full time just thinking about triathlon and saying brilliant stuff for us. So.
Well, I just want to finish.
That was just my shameless plug for you, Suzanne, because I
led you into that. I just want to finish that point about the other ER physician here. He has a coach, and he's obviously a very smart person. He showed me this software that he engineered that's just incredible. It's better than any patient management software that I've ever gotten my hands on. Really smart, really intelligent, knows his stuff. He's been to Kona, and he wasn't really picking my brain, but he was just expressing some frustrations that he's had personally with training. And I said, well, my experience as a triathlete and a physician, these are some of the strategies that I had to use when I was working a string of night shifts. And right now I'm coaching another ER physician, and she'll put her shifts in Training Peaks for me so I can schedule around those. And his eyes just grew like saucers. He says, I've never heard of that before. You're the first person I've ever, first coach I've ever talked to who said anything like that, that I can move stuff around that significantly, not just moving the long run by one day, but really just sort of mishmashing the schedule so that it works with the rest of your life. And so I think people are here for a number of different reasons. And that's part of my point. The immersive experience, the opportunity to talk with other triathletes, for the attendees to talk with coaches, not necessarily to replace a coach or find a new coach, but just to get a new perspective and inform themselves better about what they're spending their time doing.